clean over that tree. Oh, hey, everybody. Hello, welcome. It is Monday night. It is time for MCU Mondays right here on Geek News Now. We're so glad you're with us. I am your host, David. Hope you're having a great week so far. I mean, I know it's only Monday, but it's a great week. With me, as always, is my co-host, Debbie. Debbie, how are you today?
I'm fine. I was just making sure the video went live.
I'm looking at this.
Hey,
I'm
guys.
watching it. We're good. I
Okay,
saw the note pop. Saw the note pop.
There we go.
We're good. Also with us tonight is a very special guest. He's been with us in the chat quite a bit, and guess what? He's making a guest appearance. If you want to make a guest appearance, you can do this too. Andrew, how are you this evening?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's a pleasure and a rare treat, sir. So we like having other people on, and that way we can see them and say hi. So.
and it's always nice to get different opinions on what we're talking about.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's nice to have an extra opinion out there. So let's see. We missed last week because I had some issues. We'll just say issues. Physical. We'll say physical issues. I was hurting. So we have 2 episodes of Loki to cover. Also, we've got the trailer for Echo dropped. I think that was last week. I want to say that's why we didn't watch it last week because hey, life happens. So we're gonna watch the trailer for Echo this week. We're also going to. I don't think there's any music, so we shouldn't get banned. I forgot about that. We'll be okay. We'll be all right. I have faith, and if we get banned, we'd usually up in a day or two anyway, so it doesn't matter. But before we do that and we get started, let's run the theme song. So woohoo! You know what? Loki's over with. I've got to make a new thing now. I
Gotta go back to Daredevil.
Gotta go back to. Well, we got Marvels coming up next week, so
Oh yeah,
we can do the Marvels. I'll find something for the Marvels. I'll make that work.
Mr. Biscardi has joined us in the chat.
I see that. I'm just now noticing our chat is going off. Look at that. Hey, John, how are you? Play it on mute.
He's talking about the trailer.
Yes. Written by John from the Geek and I.
The intro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he wrote the intro, and Chris did all the music and singing and.
Oh,
whatnot.
wow. I guess I was unaware of that. Well, thank you, sir.
Oh, I thought you knew that. I'm
No,
sorry.
I didn't. I'm going to have to put your name in the credits. When I've got to redo the thing anyway, so sure, why not? We'll put your name in the credits. All right. So tonight we got a lot to do, so let's get at it. We're gonna start with the Echo trailer, which honestly, this was one of those things where I was like, do I really want to watch this? But I've seen the trailer and now I'm kind of excited for it. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's watch it. Let's watch the trailer. How about that?
Maya. I see everything that you are. I always have. Don't be afraid. same. So, who's the monster?
Awesome. Just completely awesome. I'm loving how this is looking so far. I'm a fan of Vincent D'Onofrio. That's nothing
We're
new.
getting
So,
feedback.
uh-oh. Hang on a minute. Let
Take
me
the
see.
trailer off. There you go.
Wow.
And Biscardi wants a link.
Biscardi wants a link. I don't see him in the chat. Oh, he came on the other stuff. Okay, hang on a minute. Hang on, John. I got you. So, thoughts, Andrew. What are your thoughts on this? First off, just as a character in general, and then do we need this episode, or do we need this show, or what are your thoughts?
So I wasn't as familiar with Echo from the comics. My first introduction to her was Hawkeye. And so I was kind of like, okay, cool side character. And I really didn't care about Echo. But as soon as I saw this trailer and it has that Daredevil Punisher feel of the Netflix shows, my excitement is through the roof for this. I cannot wait to see this. I wish it was more than 5 episodes. But I mean, Loki 6, and that's been good. So maybe Marvel knows
Is it
something
only
we
5?
don't.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, they're dropping all 5 on January 10th, I believe.
Oh, they're
On
dropping
Disney
everything
Plus
all at
and Hulu.
once.
Mm-hmm.
Ah. Well, here on MCU Mondays, we're going to do it 1 episode a week. Darn it. Away from me. Anyway.
I think everybody on the internet felt the same way you do, Andrew, where, delete. Who asked for this? That was the question. Who asked for this show? And then as soon as that trailer dropped, everybody was like, holy guacamole. This is going to be great. I mean, we see Daredevil for a split second in this trailer in his Netflix suit. And people are speculating because of what was flashed up on the screen. No good deed goes unpunished or something like that. And they're speculating Punisher might be in this, which I wouldn't mind seeing John Bruthenall.
They've also, at the end when D'Onofrio's talking, I mean, he's been, obviously something's happened to his eye. And based on the comics at the end of Hawkeye, one is led to believe that is probably the wound from the end of the Hawkeye series. And if you haven't watched Hawkeye, go watch Hawkeye because it's underrated.
Good.
It's good. And it obviously is leading into this. So go watch it. It's great. I sent him a link. I don't know where he is.
Are you sure? I didn't see it pop up.
Well, one thing I thought was interesting about Echo is the director said that you don't have to have seen any other MCU or Marvel, anything, shows or movies to watch it and get it. So I'll be curious to see.
They might do like flashbacks from Hawkeye just to kind of.
There he is.
Hey, John. Mr. Biscardi.
John Biscardi, special guest, also joining us this evening.
Hey,
right
gang,
here on MCU Monday.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very well.
Are you excited about Echo, or is this one of those ones for you to where it's like I could care less?
Echo is one of those characters that, again, like Andrew said, I had no idea. See, I'm a normie, so I go in not knowing anything about anybody, and it takes, if I can get in on the first episode, if I can get into it, I'm gonna stick with it. And since it's binging this time, I might be able to do the whole thing. But looking at the cast on IMDb just now, I could probably get into this because it says D'Onofrio's in it for 5 episodes and Charlie Cox is in it for 5 episodes. So
5? He's
really?
that's what it says on IMDb. I don't know how
Nice.
long he's in it. It could just be, him
a flashback.
doing the
or
walk of
something.
shame from She-Hulk's place again, but who knows?
No, wait. What did it wasn't the walk of shame. It's only a walk of shame if a girl does it. What did what did he
Pride.
call it? Pride, something pride.
Maybe the walk of pride or something like that.
I don't-
Strutting. He was
stride
strutting.
stride of pride. The stride of pride.
Ah,
If a man does it, it's a stride of pride. If a woman does it, it's a walk of shame. There you go. That's not
Thank
me.
you.
That's Chris. That's not me. I don't want to see hate mail. I mean, you
Writing a letter right now.
send it to Chris Cassidy at Gmail. I don't know. Go find It's a Vase. Yell at him. So I'm looking forward to it. It looks, I mean, just the trailer looks like bloody and gruesome. I'm wondering if this is going to be, because they've said that the Daredevil series is going to be in the same line as the Netflix Daredevil series, to where it's
I think
it's still going to be
rated-
the rated R.
It
I think
is
it's
rated
rated
MA.
MA.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
that's good. I don't think it'll get watered down.
Yeah, and it's not, and we're not obviously not looking at a She-Hulk piece of whatever, but I'm looking forward to it. I will say this, so Lego released a line of minifigures. Basically, it's a box, and you buy the box, and it's got one figure in it. And they're on the Marvel line. This is the Marvel Series 2 line. Well, the Marvel Series 2 line has characters like the 2 Moon Knight characters. It has stuff from X-Men 97. It's got stuff from Hawkeye. It's got stuff from all the shows. Well, the first character I picked was Echo. And I was like, oh, I got Echo. I don't want Echo. Nobody wants Echo. But then I saw the trailer. I'm like, ooh, I got Echo. All right. So I think I've got 3 of the characters. I've got Echo. I got Moon Knight, the regular Moon Knight, and I got Werewolf from Werewolf by Night. So just my cool little thing. I should have grabbed him and brought him over here, but I'm excited about it now. So I've got the figure, so I'm cool. Plus it's Vincent D'Onofrio. Gotta love him. They need a Kingpin minifigure. That's what they need. So, anyway, that's it. January 10th, right? Is that after the new year? I think.
No, it's before the new year.
Thanks, John. Thanks for pointing out what an idiot I am. Appreciate that.
That was
Well, I was just thinking because what if season 2 still doesn't have a release date? And I think right now they're looking at December. It's a December release date. I think that's what I was reading online today. It looks like I've got 2 or 3 people looking for me, so we'll call that good. There's a lot of Marvel coming out, and that's I'm not complaining about that.
well, the only Marvel movie next year is Deadpool.
Nice. Can't wait for that.
That's the only movie. And then in 25, I think there's 2 or 3 movies. I think, unless they change it again. Which,
Now, I see it. There it goes.
yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Now I will say this about Deadpool. I was surfing YouTube the other day and I saw the trailer for Deadpool 3, and it's not a trailer. It was something put together by Screen Culture, and if you know what Screen Culture is, it's basically a fan made trailer. Is really what it is. But this one was so bad. I mean, it was just horrible. I was like, usually they do a pretty good job of throwing a trailer together, cutting scenes and whatnot. But the voice actor that they had that sounded like, or that was supposed to be Deadpool, sounded nothing like Ryan Reynolds. Every scene with Wolverine in it, they had colored they had Hugh Jackman, but they had colored his costume yellow, and they superimposed this Wolverine mask. I mean, it looked awful. It was horrible. I was like, oh, that's just sad. You guys usually do so good. What's going on? That's just sad.
I don't like them because they always label it as official.
Official, yeah.
Official trailer for Deadpool 3. No, it's not.
No, it's not. No. If it comes from Marvel or Disney or something like, yeah, I'll buy that. But as soon as I see Screen Culture, I'm like, oh, this is going to be fake. Might be good, but it's going to be fake.
Mhm.
Like to see it though. Okay, we've talked that dead horse to death. Let's talk about Loki. We've got 2 episodes of Loki. We've got to deal with. The first episode being
Science fiction.
Science. It's not science fiction. It's science/fiction.
Yeah.
And I actually had to rewatch this one today because I watched it 2 weeks ago or whenever it was, and I was like, oh, I've kind of forgot what that episode was about. Just because the ending was so amazing that I had to go back and rewatch it again. And this one was actually really good too, as far as Loki kind of figuring out his time jump thing, figuring out, kind of piecing together what he thinks he needs to do. Jumping back and kind of collecting everybody. And honestly, that first scene where he was in Alcatraz and he was dealing with the guys, I didn't even catch who that was. I mean, it didn't register with me as to who he was talking to.
Oh, Casey?
With Casey, yeah. And I was just like, and I don't know, maybe because it was dark, or maybe because Casey plays such this sweet, lovable guy, and here he's this hardened, I could care less about you criminal kind of thing. And maybe that's just the range of the actor, and he's just that good to where he's like, I can play a bad guy and you won't even know it's me. So, yeah, so Casey was throwing me off. Props again to, and I'm not going to say his name because I'm going to get it wrong. Props to Short Round, because once again, he was amazing in this episode. I thought he was hilarious in this episode. Not just hilarious, but he was just looking at that other side of him, just some of the things that he came up with, and oh, you figured it out. So how did you figure it out so quickly? Well, 18 months isn't really quick. Well, 19 really, because I had to get a divorce and my wife left me and blah, 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 blah. But, and it's just, I mean, him trying to buy his book in the bookstore, and they're like, I've told you about selling your science fiction. You can't sell. I've never known a bookstore in my life that does not carry a science fiction section. So I don't know what bookstore that was or what they were thinking.
Well, it was unpublished, so he was just dropping them off.
It had a barcode on it.
His barcode. I could put a barcode on stuff.
It's not in the system. It's not going to work.
Well, it's got a barcode on it, so you sell it to them. You'd give it to them and say, okay, put it in the system. Not, but he's trying to sell. He's a sci-fi writer, but also a physics teacher. He's working on his doctorate. I think this is what he said.
Something like that, yeah.
So
he's a scientist, physicist.
He's a scientist. Pardon this model, but it's not to scale and not painted properly.
And he's the only one out of everybody that even halfway believes Loki and his wackadoodle story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, except for Sylvie. And
well, Sylvie didn't forget anything either, so.
And I was reading something on that. Why? Okay, what is your theory on why Sylvie didn't forget anything? Everybody else was like, I don't know who you are, but Sylvie's like, oh, hey, oh yeah, I was there. Don't you remember?
She's a Loki.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That was my
That's what
thought.
everybody's theory is well, she's the Loki. She's not gonna. She's a variant of Loki, so she's got the same kind of thing that he's gonna remember. So he's slipping back. He's trying to get the gang back together, as it were, so that he can fix the timeline. We got a lot of background into some of these characters: Hunter B-15, Morbius. I can't even think of his name. Ouroboros. Casey. We get a lot of background into who these characters were in their past lives, and I think we kind of called that in the first season about Owen Wilson being a jet ski salesman of some kind, or maybe an owner, which it turns out he was. So, but okay. Thoughts on the characters. What do we have on the characters other than the characters that we know versus what they were?
Well, outside of OB, they're all pretty much different from
Normal?
what they are in the TVA. Casey is kind of like by the book type of guy, and in his other life, he's a criminal, and he's pulling a shit.
An Escape from Alcatraz.
Shaw. What is that movie?
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, thank you. And B-15. She's a hunter in the TVA, but yet she's a doctor.
But some of that character has kind of spilled over into this second season, I think, because she's very concerned about the people on the alternate timelines, if they're getting pruned or whatever, and that's kind of showing through as far as a caring heart, because I mean obviously she cares about the little girl that broke her arm, and she wrote the thing, "Don't climb trees." You're not going to listen to that, are you? So obviously she's a very nice doctor, and she's a very personable doctor, and it's kind of showing through now on B-15 as we get further and further into season 2. That's what I thought anyway. And somebody said that doctor is actually it touches on a Marvel character from the comic books. I didn't get a chance to research into that, but I was hoping maybe you did, instead of making me look like a fool again.
I can look it up because I know her name.
Oh,
So go ahead and talk.
thoughts, Andrew?
Yeah, I really liked this episode. I figured at some point they would get to the time slipping, like explore that more. I thought it was neat that he time slipped back to the season 1 finale with that scene, and I know we have that more in the next episode. But I thought it was really cool seeing the backgrounds of characters we know from the TVA on these alternate timelines. I loved OB, like you were saying. I thought it was one of my favorite parts of the entire season. Just his comedic timing was
He's one of those characters now that I think he's kind of become a fan favorite, and he'll probably start appearing in the comic books at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's been a while. I haven't seen the episode again since it aired, so I'm trying to remember what all happens in it.
Well, they get everybody together, and then the whole timeline that they're on Spaghetti's does the we dusted in season, or in phase 1 through 3, and now that we're in the multiverse, now we spaghetti. So everybody turned into spaghetti, and that was, again, did we not do it right? Everybody again, they were trying to pull another tearjerker like they did in Infinity War, where it's like everybody was dying. and Loki didn't know what to do. I mean, even I can't even think. I just had her name and I just forgot it. Yeah, even she was gone. So, but then Loki realizes he has kind of figured out how his time slipping is working, and he's like, I'm gonna put it to my advantage. And we roll into the next episode, and the fifth of Beethoven plays. Everybody, if you don't know, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony is what is Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. But a fifth of Beethoven was a disco tune put out in the 70s. I can't remember the name.
Fever.
I can't remember the name of the group that did it, but it was Beethoven's Fifth Symphony with a disco beat to it, which is what we get in the soundtrack. So, and he keeps going back. We get a montage, get this lovely montage. And every time that we get the montage, it's or every time that he goes back, it's like he's found something else wrong that we need to fix. He's like, don't set the thing down on the walkway because it'll roll away, and don't forget to put your duct tape right here because that's where the bad thing's going to happen. And okay, we need to hurry up and we need to do it before you figure it out. So I've already got it figured out. Let's hurry up and do it. And nothing seems to be working. He still cannot seem to fix the timelines. We get to they did. He did. He finally went out and shot the thing into the loom.
He got it into the loom. Yeah.
Yeah. He finally got it into the loom,
but then afterwards, for the first time since they got it in, he comes back and goes, "I forgot to tell you, you can't scale for infinity."
Yeah,
well, that would have been a nice thing to know beforehand.
Right, exactly.
Maybe 300 years ago, you could have told me that.
Exactly. So he goes to the end of time, and we have this cool little dialogue with He Who Remains. We're getting the Kang variant again. And Loki's going to try and stop Sylvie from killing He Who Remains, I guess because he figures that that's the only way to do this. And he can't... I kind of saw this coming to where he's going to have to choose, and he's either going to have to kill Sylvie or he's going to have to do something to Sylvie. He's going to have to hurt Sylvie, something to stop her. And he doesn't want to do that. And so basically we're in a what was it?
Groundhog Day.
I was going to say Groundhog Day, yeah, but I didn't like that movie. Oh gosh. I'm allowed to not like a movie. Leave me alone.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I saw that face. I didn't like that movie. I was not a fan.
Oh my God, that's a Bill Murray classic. Jeez.
Sorry. That it turned into a Dormammu, I'm here to bargain kind of thing. There, I like Doctor Strange better anyways. How about that? But sure, Groundhog Day, fine. That's the trope everyone was using online. I was trying to do something different.
Well, maybe you can go back in time and change my answer.
Yes. Change it to Doctor Strange. Dormammu, I've come to bargain. But basically it boils down to that He Who Remains basically you can't stop what's about to happen. It's going to happen. The only way to stop it is to kill Sylvie, and you don't want to do that.
I gotta tell you, the when Jonathan Majors was Victor Timely, I could not stand that character. I mean, it was just, the stuttering was throwing me off, and it just looked so overacted and so horrible. But then he became He Who Remains at the end, and that minute where he discovers that Loki knows what he's doing. He just turned into this different person altogether and was fantastic.
Yeah.
When he's just like, okay. So
All right, I got to refigure this out.
we're going to do this over again. You know, it's just like all of a sudden he just changed on the dime and he was fantastic.
He was great, and the whole thing too with he goes where he's doing he's flipping his finger and he's stopping Sylvie and he's like, "Oh, I guess you haven't figured that out yet," and then Loki does it. Obviously there. I mean, you've got to think here. Loki has been jumping back in time, and at one point he even asks Obi, he's like, "How long would it take me to learn everything that you know?" And he's like, "Centuries." He's like, "Okay." So I mean, centuries have happened. And Loki's basically what I look at this is that Loki's mind is getting older, but he can just jump back into the body of a younger Loki, even though he's got the knowledge of the mind of the older Loki, the one that's experienced everything.
Yeah, just like Bill Murray.
I was going to go a different direction with that one as well, because I saw something once that was it was a not a theory, but just kind of a, hey, here's some interesting facts that you might want to look at. But in Back to the Future, when Marty McFly leaves 1985, he's 17 years old. He spends a week in 1955, then goes to 2015 for a day, and then goes back to 1955 for a day, and then like 3 days in 1885. By the end of all three of those movies, Marty has actually aged like 4 weeks or something. I mean, it was some kind of odd number, but it was like 3 weeks and 3 days or something like that. But he's still back in the same time, even though he's aged the 3 weeks. So, now John's going to look that up. He's like, "Oh, I got to see that."
Well, what I actually liked was when Loki when he paused Sylvie. Yeah, he who remains looked just a little bit shocked, and Loki was like, "You don't think this is the first time we've had this conversation, do you?"
And he had kind of said that to Loki. Didn't he say that to Loki earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was like,
Earlier.
"You think this is the first time we've met?"
But I think when they got to this point, maybe it's gone beyond what Kang, because I get tired of saying he who remains.
He who
What
shall not
he
be
even-
named.
Yeah.
Voldemort.
Yeah. It's now we're at the point where it's beyond what Kang remembers or even knows, because it's too far in the future. Because Loki's already gone past what he has been trying to do, which is stop Sylvie. My theory. I could be wrong.
It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because Loki at this point decides that the loom is worthless, destroys it, becomes the god that he needs to be, filled with glorious purpose. Which, again, this episode was titled Glorious Purpose, which was the exact title of the first episode. Yes, I saw it, Debbie. I was paying attention.
First
Of the
episode
first-
of season 1.
First episode of season 1
So
was
now
Glorious Purpose.
Full circle.
And actually, too, it's really funny too, because you're dealing with Loki that you've got to remember, you're dealing with a Loki that escaped from New York right after the Battle of New York. So you're really dealing with an Avengers Loki. He has not experienced, the stuff from the Dark World, from Ragnarok, from the Infinity War movies. None of that stuff has he had anything to do with. And his big thing in Avengers was he wanted the throne. He wanted to be, I'm going to rule the Earthlings. I see you, dumb cat. Leave me alone. But now he, through this growth process with the TVA, he has stepped into his glorious purpose, and he's now the
God of stories.
god of stories. Yes,
Or at least a version, because it was a comic book run. Loki God of stories. So whether or not, because Marvel, they never follow anything completely in the
exactly by the
comics.
book.
So,
Yeah.
so this is some kind of version of him.
Well, and I'm
Mhm.
everything I've seen has said that yes, this is Loki. He's the god of stories. He's creating his throne. He created his throne, and he actually created it from the burned down throne of that Kang was sitting on at the end of time. Um, thank you, Debbie. I see you answering the mail. Uh, uh, he was on his throne at the. He built it, and he built it like the tree. The tree. What did
Asgardian tree.
yeah,
I'm not going to try.
Mhm.
from the first. Well, and that was brought up in the first Thor movie too, to where this is the way my father explained it. There are 9 realms, and Asgard and Midgard and blah 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 blah. Jotunheim, all the different realms and everything, and so he kind of did it that way, and then of course he's running the timelines out. He's basically Kang at this point because he's running everything. So it's going to be interesting to see how he plays that. We know that the Avengers Kang Wars is coming out and Secret Wars is coming out. So it's going to be interesting to see how he plays out into this. Also, there was mention at the end of this episode about the Kang variants. So and how but she said something about the variants don't know what's happened. So it's like they're all kind of. She said something about them to where it's like they're not quite the threat that they were. We're not looking at the. Or am I getting that wrong? Am I way off?
And I must have missed that. I just know that they mentioned uh, Kang from Ant-Man
Yeah,
and said that,
616.
that it was taken care of or dealt with. So now the TVA, all they're focusing on is just tracking all these variant Kangs. But I don't remember her saying they weren't.
She said something about it. I need to go back and watch the episode again. Darn.
I wonder if that was a rewrite in order to give them an out in case things happen with him
With Jonathan
personally.
Majors.
Yeah.
So from what I've heard about that, and I haven't really been following it, but last I heard was that everybody who's come out and said nasty things about him has redacted their statements, if I'm correct, and said, no, well, it didn't really happen the way that I said it did, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was, kind of thing.
Well, the accuser's been arrested, so.
Yeah.
And I've seen stuff on Twitter about they said that Marvel has scrapped anything Kang related, and I'm like, Marvel
What is this?
Marvel hasn't said anything. They haven't said anything about scrap and stuff. So I don't know if people are just jumping the gun, or I mean, if I looked and I couldn't find anything official where they're saying, we're scrapping the whole Kang dynasty thing. So
No, well, in fact, they've even gone so far that was it San Diego? Where did they release the title of the new Avengers movie, or was that D23? They said, yeah, here's the next 2 Avengers movies. We got Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Hi, Travis, how are you? Love the season finale, Loki. Think it stuck the landing most of any shows.
this was probably the most well written show and story character arc
Yeah.
ever
That's
outside of Tony Stark, because Tony Stark's arc was perfect.
untouchable.
So, yeah, from a character who, he was the villain, and now he's, and it goes through. Well, he was the villain sometimes, and he was always flippy floppy.
He was. He wasn't an anti-hero, but he wasn't an anti-villain either. He had his own agenda. How about that? So,
But he always would come to his senses and realize, okay, I got to do the right thing here.
or come to his senses and say, I need to betray Thor because he's trying to steal a ship and go fly through the devil's anus. Let's do Get Help. No, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. You love it. Did you see there was a meme? I don't know if it was on one of our pages or not, but it was it was Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker going up the elevator to the Emperor at the end of Return of the Jedi, and the caption just said, "Let's do Get Help." And then the next picture was Luke carrying Darth Vader. Get help, somebody, please.
I must have missed that one.
Oh, that was hilarious. I gotta find it. I'll find one of these.
I think I've seen that.
Hilarious. I was like, oh, that's good. I like that. Let's do Get Help. No. Okay, so final thoughts on I say final thoughts. There's always going to be thoughts on Loki season 2. Actually, let's just do Loki before we even do that even. How about this? Do you think we're going to see a Loki season 3?
No.
No?
No,
Nope.
Eric Martin has already come out on Twitter and said this was 2 halves of a book. Season 1 was half the first part. Season 2 is the second half of the book, and we have closed the book.
We have closure. Cool. Good.
Now, that's not to say we won't see him in other movies or whatever, but yeah. And
I think I saw a rumor. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think I saw a rumor that Tom Hiddleston's in Deadpool 3. Is that just a rumor?
I've heard the same rumor. I've also heard that Owen Wilson's going to be in Deadpool 3 as
Yeah,
well.
that might just be a fan thing.
And the only reason that is and we were talking about the screen culture thing. That was the big thing, was that they were going to zap Wade Wilson because of what he did at the end of Deadpool 2, where he's, oh, hi guys, nope, just cleaning up the timeline, it's okay. So they're going to not zap him, prune him, and I don't know.
Yeah, I think
something about Mobius standing in the street at the end was beautiful. After so many shows / movies in space or in futuristic settings, it was nice seeing a simple neighborhood. And very calm, cool, and relaxing. So, what were you going to say, Debbie?
Well, I'm not sure. I think it was something about Deadpool going to lead to the multiverse. And
well, they had what did I watch? I saw was it a preview? I can't even. Oh, okay. I'm not even going to ask because this was a Marvel's thing. I haven't seen Marvel, so Debbie, I don't want any spoilers, so I'm not going to ask.
Damn it!
I've heard X-Men rumors about stuff in the Marvels, but I'm again, and I mean it was touched on in Miss Marvel. Oh, you've got this gene in you that's mutated, and it's like, yes, this is how we're gonna do it. Okay, but again, I'm not I don't want to know anything, Debbie. I see that look on your face. You're like, ooh, I've got this juicy secret, and I just can't wait to spill it.
I saw some non-spoiler reviews of the Marvels that said that the plot is similar to Spaceballs.
What?
Like, yeah, like the villain is similar to the. These are non-spoiler. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know 100%.
Was
The
similar
villain
to
is
Dark
the
Helmet.
greatest, but
Yeah.
Is that is that Ronan the Accuser's weapon that she has?
Mhm.
That's his hammer.
and that is also Tom's wife.
So how is that possible? Wasn't it destroyed in Guardians?
Yes, because the stone came free.
Or maybe she made a new one.
Debbie, you've seen this. I'm gonna move this up here so I can read. I can't read comments. Owen Wilson was also in talks to be in Venom 3. Sorry, Debbie. I'm taking up some of your.
You're just covering up my Star Wars picture.
Your cube. Here, I'll move. There we go. Oh, and it's got Harrison front and center too.
Damn straight.
Owen Wilson was also in talks to be in Venom 3, passed, and I'm not even going to try that. The fact both play characters involved in the multiverse probably means Mordo will be in it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not. I don't want to insult anyone, so I will not try and butcher names.
I can barely speak English now, so trying to speak a foreign name is impossible.
Sorry, I gotta throw it up there, Debbie, especially since John's here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You know, I'm going to work on that when I have my 3 weeks off in December. I'm going to work on that.
It's going to take you 3 weeks.
3
That's that many
weeks?
guys?
I'm not worried about it taking 3 weeks. I'm looking at it and going, holy cow, you've got 3 weeks?
3 weeks off, yeah.
I want 3 weeks off in December. Holy
I have a
smokes.
bunch of PTO, and if I don't use it, I
It
lose
goes
it.
away. Yeah.
So, I mean, we're only allowed to roll over, I think it's 5 days total.
40
And
hours, basically.
something like that. So
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, I'm taking basically the month of December off. So
Must be nice.
I'll work
wish I
on
could
that
take the
little
month of
thing,
December off.
and I'm going to work on my YouTube channel and work on our YouTube channel. So unless I become a slug on the couch, which is normally what happens because I get to watching stuff and
I can't pronounce his name either. The guy who played Mordo in Scar. Well, there you go. Okay. Final thoughts on Loki season 2, and just Loki as a whole. What are we thinking? Andrew, go ahead. You've been awful quiet. Go for it.
I loved Loki's arc in this season, and the whole show, I should say, the whole series. Loki is my favorite Disney Plus project from Marvel. I thought that just character development was pretty good. Storytelling was really good. It wasn't lazy writing. The pacing was good. It wasn't too rushed, but it wasn't too slow either. It wasn't quite like Ahsoka. It was, well paced. That's all I got.
John, thoughts?
I enjoyed this more than I did the first season.
Oh, well, there you go. That's a rarity sometimes.
I think they spent too much time with Sylvie in the first season, but I understand why they did. And the thing that I think I enjoyed about it the most was the quirkiness of the characters.
Thank you, Travis.
I don't know his name.
Mando poster.
the guy who played the actor down on the timeline.
Oh,
Oh,
they-
Brad,
Right.
Yeah, I thought he was fantastic. It was great to see him and just be like a regular person. Like, come on, it just there were Ki Hai Huan, short round stole the show, and I'm annoyed that I don't know when this was finalized and in the can, but I'm annoyed that nobody at Disney said he needs to be in Indiana Jones.
And you know what's so bad is that he, like I said, he's become a fan favorite in Loki, and he did he win the Academy?
did we lose Andrew?
I guess he dropped. Oh, there he is.
Come back, Andrew. Come back.
Oh, my bad.
There he is. But I think did he win, or was he nominated for
He won the
nominated
Oscar
he did win the Oscar for
everything
Everywhere all at once.
Everywhere all at once.
Yeah, whatever.
So I've got a funny feeling, because he was real big as a kid. He did Short Round, and he was in the Goonies, and he was in a few other things, and then he kind of dropped off the grid. There goes John. Now John
What
left.
the hell is going on, people?
You better not tell me, David, you didn't like the Goonies.
Oh no, I love the Goonies.
Okay.
That's one of my favorites. But
double check.
But he's becoming a bigger name now, so I expect to see him in a lot more stuff moving forward. Not just Marvel properties, not just sci-fi or whatever. I have a feeling Josh Brolin was in the Goonies. Come on.
Oh, I did like Miss Minutes this season. I thought she was really menacing.
She was so fun.
And
I'm
in
still
fact,
available though. If she's still looking, I'm still available. Just
that
saying.
one it was the one time jump where Loki went back and he was like, Miss Minutes, I know you're trying to kill us right now, but I need him. And just the look on her face was like,
What are you talking about? That's not who I am.
Travis says the only problems I saw was not having anything for characters like Casey, Sylvie, and B-15 to do except just stand in hero shots and remind you that they were main characters. But B-15 is running the TVA at this. I think she's running. Is she running the TVA, or she's?
I think she's a higher up now.
Yeah.
Whether she's running it, I don't know. Oh, he's back.
He's back. What happened? I don't know. Did you click the wrong button, John? Can you hear us?
I think we need a time slip.
I think we need a time slip too.
So one thing we did not talk about was Renslayer.
Mm-hmm.
And they sent her to the what was it called? The negative zone?
The void.
Yeah.
But oh, he's got no sound.
I see. I got it.
Now, first, there's always fan theories, and actually, there was two that I was just like, not quite sure, but so the one with Renslayer, I mean, it's definitely the void, and I just assumed the purple.
You good, John?
The purple lights that we see and the weird monster noises is what was it, Aleph from season 1?
Oh yeah.
That ate the other Loki, the old Loki. I just assumed that's who it was, but people are speculating that since the pyramid was in the background, that it was actually the Kang Ramatat,
the Kang dimension or whatever.
Yeah, well, that it was just him, and that her and him are gonna hook up and do like she did with the other.
And I think I've mentioned this before. I think in the comic books they have something of a thing going on. So
And then the other theory, which I don't know how people come up with this, and maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but they're saying that since Loki's powers are green, and now that he's in control of everything, that's why the time stone is green. It's because of Loki. And I don't know how people figure this crap out, because they're saying, well,
they got nothing better to do. That's they just sit around. Let me think of things.
He's at the beginning of time and he's at the end of time. He's the past, future, present, and that's why the time stone is green, because Loki's powers are green. And I'm like, I mean, I come up with some weird shit, but I don't know.
It's green because it's Mephisto.
That would be red. And then there's another theory. There's another theory that these characters like Scarlet Witch and Loki, and some of the other characters like what's his name on Guardians? The gold guy.
Adam
Warlock.
Yeah, and he's got that. He's got some kind of stone in his head like Vision did, but that these characters are replacing the Infinity Stones.
Okay, all right.
And I don't know what the purpose is, but
well, you got Loki running time, so he would be the new time stone. And all right, I'll buy that.
Yeah, Scarlet's Reality Stone, and then Warlock, Adam Warlock.
Adam Warlock would be Mind.
Yeah, so we'll see.
That would be pretty neat, because now you can have separate movies where somebody's hunting down, another big bad.
Comes for the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, is hunting down new Infinity Stones. That would have been cool to have Dar-Ben actually start a new storyline where that's what that character is doing, instead of having them vacuum suck a planet from its oxygen.
And don't give spoilers. These other two have spoiler warning.
She's gone from suck to blow. And if you don't know that reference, go watch Spaceballs. How dare you? Thank you, sir.
Oh Lordy.
And Andrew, one other thing we forgot to talk about was when you reminded me, Andrew, and thank you for doing so, because again, this was in the other episode. This was in the science fiction episode when he was trying to tell him, this is how you need to control your time slipping. And he gets in there and he pulls a Bruce Banner. Ah! I don't know. We've been having a thing. Wah! And he shocks him. He scares him.
Like, I thought the funniest part in that episode was when, I think it was that episode, is when they're in the elevator and he's talking. He's like, it looks like you're being born and dying, and both at the same time. It's disgusting, right? And then all of a sudden it turns into The Office, where the camera just goes over and sees the other chick in the corner in the elevator, and she's like
petrified.
I thought that was very like very Office like, or what is it? Parks and Rec.
Yeah. That theory would be setting up the Infinity Watch from Infinity War, which has that.
I need to start reading comics, and maybe I could come up with crazy theories. And
I don't like, personally, I don't like the art from today's comics. I like the art from like mid 90s. The mid 90s comics. I like the art from there. I like some of the stories from there. And I've read some of that stuff, but we grew up in a house where I was Star Wars and my brother was DC, so we didn't get a whole lot of Marvel exposure. And now I'm regretting that, but I can go back and read it.
So what are the remaining colors if we have those?
We got
those
blue,
three. We got,
and orange. We got space and soul and, I don't know, I don't know what the other one is.
Well, there's 5, right? And
Power.
we have 3
Space-
already, right?
Space,
Agatha?
soul, and power.
Agatha Harkness.
Agatha. Oh, yes. She would be, yeah.
And I can't say other one because I've given something away, but
Yeah,
there's
you
another
keep your
one.
mouth
And-
shut.
keep your
There's-
damn mouth shut.
There's another possibility in the Marvels. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yes.
Well, and the
And
Soul Stone was never really Red Skull. Maybe I mean Red Skull was controlling it, but that was never like owned by anybody. That one kind of had a thing of its own. It's different from the Soul Stone, different from the other stones, is what he said. Infinity Watch was formed after the gauntlet was taken from Thanos, and the stones were divided amongst the council. Includes Adam, Gamora, Drax, and Pip, all of which who are. Pip is that stupid troll thing at the end of the Eternals, or that.
Shh, I haven't
Oh,
seen the
yeah.
Eternals. No spoilers.
Don't.
Yeah.
You don't need to. It's awful.
Unless you want
Horrible.
hairstyles.
people were the Harry Style fans were pissed because he was in the post-credit scene for like what 2 seconds, 3 or 4 seconds.
We lost John again.
Scardy, damn it.
You know, one thing I forgot to mention about this season of Loki is the practical sets, and you could tell they were holding the cameras when they were filming. You know,
Yeah.
I really liked it. It made it feel more grounded. I really liked that.
And
while
they didn't
watching,
use it wasn't like crazy technology either. You know,
Yeah.
you watch
I
some
mean,
of
I
the
like
Iron
the
Man's,
volume, but
and it's like, okay,
old
here's
after a
Tony,
while.
and he's holding his phone up, and he goes, "Let me take your screen, and I'm going to take this screen," and then he's doing all the stuff with his hands, and this is like old 50s and 60s.
Mm.
But
You know,
yet,
I'm gonna pull the lever and push the button. Science and industry.
the CGI in these last 2 episodes were, I
Mhm.
thought, phenomenal. I
Yeah.
mean, with the spaghettifying and all that.
Do we know the budget for this season? It had to be
I have no
up
idea.
there. It had to be.
I don't think I've.
Because I agree, the visual effects were really good.
Yeah,
I'll check.
of course I don't normally look at that stuff anyways, but
Yeah.
unless it's like blatant like it was in the Flash movie. I mean that
141 million is what I'm seeing.
Okay.
141 million?
Mhm.
Oh,
That's what I
that's not
saw.
that's not as much as some of the other shows.
That could just be a rumor. Let's see. Yeah, 141.3 million.
Power's back. The little droid did it. All right. If he comes back on, we're gonna use that. All right.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's Harry Styles just capped my internet. That's John Biscardi, by the way. Okay. Shameless plugs. What do we got this week, Debbie?
The Sith Dominion is back
Woo!
tomorrow, Tuesday. I lost what day it was. They are going to be talking about Darth Crate. I think I pronounced that right.
You did.
Okay. I believe Wednesday is War of the Stars. Thursday it's us again. With Cantina Happy Hour. We're on Mando season.
And instead of wearing Marvel shirts, though, we wear Star Wars shirts.
Y'all won't have to do this episode twice, will you?
No, we're good. We've been getting chat, so we're on.
Yeah.
Let's hope
Cool.
not.
Good.
Man, that was a. Anyways,
That was brutal.
we are talking Mando season 2, and it's the Siege episode. And then Friday, I don't know if we got a hobby hut going up or.
I'm working on putting. In fact, I was working on it before we started tonight. I was working on one. I just got to get some music to it, but I don't know. There's some in the queue, and I bought some more. I bought some more sets too. I got me this really cool Jurassic Park one.
Oh.
Yeah, and I don't care if you hate me or you can laugh at me or whatever. I don't care, but I'm gonna do this one too, and laugh if you must. But I liked it. I got me a cool little Moana one as well.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's cute.
So you can laugh at me all you want to. I don't care. I have Moana.
Dave's in heaven if he's doing anything with Legos.
So
So Saturday we have the
Geek
Geek
Gauntlet.
Gauntlet. And then we have all kinds, we're on all platforms. If you look in the description, all of our links to Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio,
Yeah, we're cool. We're on iHeartRadio.
whatever else there's out there. I don't know. I can't remember them all, but they're all in the description with links and links to our Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, and Threads.
A lot of
There
stuff.
you go.
We're all over the socials.
That's my spiel.
Andrew, do you have any shameless plugs? Are you going to be on any other shows, or
Are you gonna have a show of your own?
are you going to do a show of your own?
I do not have a show of my own.
Okay.
Not yet, at least. Maybe at some point in the future. I can't really think of anything.
Well, that's okay.
Well, we appreciate you being on here.
We are so happy you were here. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me.
And if anybody else out there that's in our chats wants to just hit me up, I'm on the GNN Facebook page and the GNN Greats and all that other stuff. John Biscardi, I don't know if you have anything coming up. Apparently, Harry Styles capped his internet, so. I don't have any conventions again until January, I think. End of January, I think I've got Brickfest.
Oh, I think Cam is now. I'm not sure when because he's been having some issues, but Cam is supposed to be coming out with a part 3 to his Hitman trilogy he's been doing on Cam and Focus. So that be on the lookout for that. We also got a couple articles out. One is about Gershon Impact and the new Ghostbusters trailer.
Oh, I forgot about it. We should have watched that. Oh,
that was good. I'm excited about that.
I'm excited about it too.
I loved Afterlife. I thought that was a really good movie.
And if you, I enjoyed Afterlife. I didn't care much for the.
We don't talk about that one.
Yeah,
don't bring it up.
We don't. Yeah.
What was it? 2016.
I don't know. I've tried to block that era from my memory.
I never watched it. It didn't look appealing, and so
you know what? I watched it once, and the only reason I watched it once was because at the time I was going through and downloading all the digital copies for my MCU movie, so I was pulling little things out of the DVDs and downloading, and I downloaded, I guess, so many that they said, "Hey, we've got a free movie for you." And it was that one.
I wonder why.
And my brother said, "Man, they're so desperate for people to watch that movie that they're just giving it away at this point." I'm like, "Well, yeah."
Yeah, it was obvious why.
I blocked it from my memory. Now it's back in.
I watched it, and it was the worst. It was like a long movie too. It was like 2.5 hours. It's like you can't make a if you want to call it a comedy, fine. It's not a comedy. It's just stupid. But if you want to call it a comedy, you can't do that for 2.5 hours. Like, you can't hold an audience for that long. Not in a comedy. Drama, action, yeah, sure. But no comedy. Hour and a half, hour 45.
So loud.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters. Reference that.
I need to go back and watch Afterlife again, though. That's on my list of things. So, all right. Other than that, don't forget to like and subscribe. Go to when you're on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon. Oh, that's the other thing. I forgot about it. I need to make a TikTok about this too, because I happen to have this one too. I have got the Lego Star Wars Advent Calendar. Whoa, and it's cool. It's a build a day from December the 1st to December the 24th. And I'm going to be doing a live build every day in December from the 1st until the 24th. and build the advent calendar. So you have to hit the like and subscribe. You have to hit the notifications so that you know when I go live, because I'm not going to go live at the same time every day. I have a life, and especially in December, I'm going to be putting my tree up one day. I'm making Christmas cookies. I'm going to look at Christmas lights. I'm caroling. I love Christmas, so I've got other things going on, but for you, I will come in and build my Lego sets for you live. And so hit the like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when we do go live. Other than that, y'all all have a great week. We will see you all next week right here on MCU Mondays. Take it easy, guys.